My name disappeared from the project doc like it had never been there. Not spelled wrong. Not moved to another section. Just gone. Replaced with the assistant's name, neatly typed in the same font, like the document had always belonged to her. I stared at the screen long enough that my laptop dimmed. For a few seconds I actually wondered if I'd hallucinated my own involvement. I work in corporate marketing for a mid-sized tech company. The kind where everyone is aligned and cross-functional until something goes wrong, and then suddenly nobody remembers making any decisions. I'm a senior specialist, high enough that my work matters, not high enough that I can stop people from doing dumb things. The project was a partner launch deck for a big vendor we'd been chasing for months. My manager, Jonah, called it high visibility. That's corporate code for, if it goes well, leadership will take credit. If it goes badly, someone will be quietly set on fire. I'd been building the deck for 2 weeks. Not just copying slides, but gathering numbers from finance, confirming legal language, coordinating brand assets, and doing the annoying thing where you translate technical facts into something a salesperson can say without lying. A new assistant, Maya, had been assigned to our team the month before. She was sharp in a way that felt performative, always taking notes, always volunteering for small tasks, always a little too eager to be seen doing them. I didn't mind her. If anything, I liked that she actually followed up. The day before my name vanished, Jonah told me, just loop Maya in so she can help with final formatting and scheduling. That sounded harmless. So I added her to the doc, assigned a couple easy tasks in the comment thread, and went back to wrangling a pricing chart that finance kept updating. I logged off around 10 p.m. with the deck at 90% and a very specific plan for the morning. At 8:12 a.m., I opened the doc and saw the new cover slide. Partner launch narrative. Prepared by Maya, last name. My name wasn't on the cover. It wasn't on the contributors list. Even my comments were cleaned up, resolved, deleted, or rephrased as if they'd come from someone else. My first impulse was to assume it was an error. Maybe she was practicing. Maybe she exported the wrong version. That's what you tell yourself when you don't want to believe someone's being bold with your work. I messaged her. Hey, I'm looking at the deck and saw my name removed from the cover. Probably just a version mix-up. Can you revert? She replied within a minute. Oh, Jonah asked me to make it consistent since I'm the one sending it out. Didn't mean anything by it. That was weird. Consistent with what? And Jonah hadn't said a word to me. I walked to Jonah's desk and tried to keep my voice casual. Hey, quick question. Did you ask Maya to remove my name from the deck? Jonah didn't look up right away. He was doing that fake busy thing where he scrolls while you stand there. Then he said, yeah, I figured since she's handling logistics, it's cleaner. Don't take it personally. Cleaner. I stood there a second too long, waiting for the part where he acknowledged I'd built the thing. It didn't come. Back at my desk, I did the thing I always do when I feel cornered at work. I got very calm and very nosy. First escalation. I checked the version history. Most of the actual content, messaging framework, partner positioning, key stats, the FAQ for leadership, was created under my account. That was expected. What wasn't expected was that around 11:40 p.m., there was a burst of edits under Maya's account. She duplicated sections, moved my content into new slides, and then deleted the original ones. It wasn't just formatting. It was like someone had taken the furniture out of my house and put it into an identical house next door, then acted confused when I asked where my couch went. Second escalation. I found an email chain. Our sales lead had replied to the latest deck export saying, "Great work, Maya. This is much tighter than the last draft." Maya responded, "Thanks. I pulled it together based on some inputs." Inputs. Not, I coordinated with my name. Not, I polished my name's draft. Just inputs, like I was a suggestion box. I forwarded the chain to Jonah with one line. Can we clarify ownership here? I'm seeing people crediting Maya for the full build. Jonah replied, let's discuss later. Big meeting first. The meeting was with our director and 2 VPs. The kind of meeting where you can feel people deciding who's competent. Maya was invited to take notes. I was invited to present. That should have been my reassurance. Instead, Jonah opened by saying, Maya has been spearheading the deck. She'll walk us through and I'll add context. I actually turned my head, like maybe he was talking to someone behind me. Maya's eyes flicked to me once. Not guilty, not apologetic, more like, don't make this messy. I could have blown up right there. I could have interrupted. I could have done the whole righteous speech about credit and teamwork. But I've been in enough offices to know the person who gets emotional becomes the story, not the problem. So I sat there while Maya presented my work with a pleasant, practiced confidence. She used some of my phrasing verbatim. The deck even had a slide title I specifically wrote as a joke to myself. Stop saying, Synergy, Challenge. She read it out loud, smiled, and kept going. The VPs nodded. Someone said, nice. I took notes like I was watching a documentary about my own robbery. The third escalation came right after. The director said, Maya, this is impressive. We've been needing someone with this kind of ownership. Jonah, can we get her more involved in strategic work? Jonah said, absolutely. She's been great. I finally understood the underlying reason, and it was uglier than simple credit theft. Jonah wasn't just letting this happen. He needed it to happen. A month earlier, Jonah's manager had told him he needed to develop talent, or his leadership track would stall. He'd complained about it to me over coffee, how he was not a babysitter, and how HR loved growth plans. Maya was his growth plan. My work was the proof. The turning point wasn't anger. It was clarity. In hindsight, the little things lined up. Jonah suddenly asking me to document everything. Maya being copied on all my threads. Jonah praising her in team chat for tasks I'd done, then acting like I was being dramatic when I corrected anything. I stopped thinking of it as a mistake and started treating it like a strategy. That afternoon, I did something I'm not proud of, but I'm not sorry either. I scheduled a project retrospective for the deck, framed as a best practice for future launches. I invited Jonah, Maya, the sales lead, and the director. I titled it blandly, Partner Launch Deck, Process plus Learnings. Corporate catnip. Then I built a single slide, a timeline. Not emotional, not accusatory, just facts. I pulled the version history exports with timestamps. When the core narrative was written, when the finance numbers were pulled, when legal language was approved. Each item linked to the source email or comment thread. Next to each, I listed the owner. My name appeared on almost all the substantive work. Maya's name was on formatting, calendar scheduling, and exported PDF. I included Jonah on requested assistant support and approved final export. During the meeting, I kept my voice even. I wanted us to have a clear record of what happened so we can replicate the workflow. Jonah's smile tightened immediately. Maya stared at her screen. The director leaned forward and clicked through the links herself. You could see her brain doing the math. She didn't blow up. She didn't scold anyone. She just said, this is helpful. Thank you for documenting. Then she looked at Jonah and asked, why was Maya described as spearheading? Jonah tried to laugh it off. I mean, she really drove it across the finish line. The director said, finishing is important. So is authorship. Silence. After the call, Jonah pinged me. Was that necessary? I replied, yes. I'm fine sharing credit. I'm not fine being erased. He didn't respond. 2 days later, the director sent a team-wide email thanking contributors by name. Mine was first. Maya's was included too, with a specific note about coordination and logistics. A week after that, Jonah stopped looping Maya in on my projects without asking. Maya became noticeably cooler toward me, like I'd violated an unspoken rule. Maybe I had. The real consequence landed a month later during performance check-ins. The director told me, off the record, I appreciate how you handled that. Quietly, with receipts. Keep doing that. Jonah didn't get promoted that cycle. I still think about how easily I almost let it slide because I wanted to be easy to work with. I wanted to be the person who doesn't care about credit. Now I understand something I wish I'd learned earlier. Some people don't remove your name by accident. They remove it to see if you'll notice you're being replaced.